1. A corporate trainer is developing a module for adult learners in a regulatory compliance course. Which of the following strategies best aligns with adult learning principles? A. Requiring learners to memorize and recite compliance codes. B. Using case studies based on real workplace compliance failures. C. Administering multiple-choice quizzes after each lecture. D. Delivering content through mandatory daily video lectures. 2. During an evaluation of a newly implemented curriculum, the instructional designer notices that learners are achieving high test scores but show limited application on the job. What is the most appropriate evaluation model level to investigate next? A. Reaction. B. Learning. C. Behavior. D. Results. 3. An instructor notices that a group of adult learners prefers to work through problems independently and only seeks help when necessary. According to Knowles and Draghi, this behavior reflects which principle? A. Orientation to learning. B. Self-concept. C. Readiness to learn. D. Need to know. 4. A health education mentor observes that a mentee repeatedly struggles with managing classroom discussions. What is the most appropriate mentoring strategy in this context? A. Assign the mentee to observe a peer with stronger discussion facilitation skills. B. Have the mentee complete an online course on classroom management. C. Increase the mentee's lecture time to improve content familiarity. D. Recommend disciplinary action for poor learner engagement. 5. A new instructor is designing learning objectives for a training course on safety regulations. Which of the following represents a properly written objective based on Bloom's taxonomy? A. Learners will understand safety rules. B. Learners will know about emergency protocols. C. Learners will list and explain 5 emergency response steps. D. Learners will be familiar with safety procedures. 6. In developing a curriculum for a multicultural adult learner population, which consideration is most important? A. Ensuring all examples are drawn from the local culture. B. Adapting instructional materials to reflect diverse perspectives. C. Translating all materials into one universal language. D. Using humor to engage learners regardless of background. 7. Which of the following is most aligned with summative evaluation in a training program? A. A post-training survey about the instructor's performance. B. Weekly peer feedback sessions. C. A final project demonstrating learned competencies. D. An entrance knowledge assessment. 8. An adult learner in a compliance training program questions the relevance of a new policy. Which instructor response best supports adult learning principles? A. This policy is required by law and not open for debate. B. Let's discuss how this policy impacts your specific job duties. C. You must accept that policies change frequently. D. That's not relevant, let's move on to the next topic. 9. A mentoring program evaluation reveals that mentors rarely meet with their ments. Which change would most likely improve engagement? A. Increase reporting requirements for mentors. B. Mandate monthly mentor-mentee meetings and track outcomes. C. Reduce the number of ments per mentor. D. Replace mentors with peer discussion boards. 10. Which component of instructional design ensures alignment between learning outcomes, content, and assessment? A. Syllabus formatting. B. Curriculum mapping. C. Time on task calculations. D. Learning management system reports. 11. A regulatory agency introduces a new rule that affects training content. What is the best action for the curriculum developer? A. Wait until the next revision cycle to include the rule. B. Notify learners to research the rule independently. C. Immediately revise the affected modules and inform instructors. D. Send an email summarizing the rule with no changes to content. 12. Which communication technique is most effective when providing constructive feedback to adult learners? A. Use general statements to avoid hurt feelings. B. Deliver feedback in writing only. C. Focus on observed behaviors and suggest specific improvements. D. Compare learners' performance to each other. 13. An adult educator is using formative assessment in a skills-based course. Which of the following best exemplifies this approach? A. Mid-course learner reflections with instructor feedback. B. An industry certification exam. C. A final course evaluation survey. D. A one-time pretest to measure baseline knowledge. 14. A trainer is mentoring a junior colleague who is designing a new course. Which action best supports collaborative curriculum development? A. Redesigning the course alone to model best practices. B. Asking the junior colleague to submit a completed syllabus for review. C. Reviewing drafts together and providing real-time feedback. D. Directing the junior colleague to published curriculum templates. 15. In compliance-focused instruction, how can a teacher best encourage learner motivation? A. Emphasize the legal penalties for noncompliance. B. Frame compliance as a professional value tied to personal integrity. C. Require attendance at all compliance sessions. D. Deliver information without discussing rationale. 16. Which scenario best illustrates reflective practice in mentoring? A. A mentor advises the mentee to follow established lesson plans. B. A mentor and mentee debrief after each session to analyze outcomes. C. A mentor assigns additional reading to the mentee. D. A mentor schedules quarterly reviews with no discussion of teaching. 17. When adult learners collaboratively construct solutions to real-world problems, this most directly supports which learning theory? A. Behaviorism. B. Cognitivism. C. Constructivism. D. Nativism. 18. Which of the following most effectively promotes regulatory compliance within instructional design? A. Including lengthy policy documents as supplementary reading. B. Embedding compliance checkpoints within instructional scenarios. C. Distributing compliance manuals on the first day of training. D. Posting compliance posters in the classroom. 19. Which is the most appropriate technique for assessing curriculum effectiveness in a continuing education program? A. Checking attendance records. B. Conducting pre- and post-tests on key competencies. C. Measuring the instructor's punctuality. D. Counting the number of handouts distributed. 20. What is the primary benefit of using rubrics in performance-based evaluation of adult learners? A. They allow instructors to grade faster. B. They eliminate subjective judgment. C. They ensure consistency and transparency in feedback. D. They reduce the need for individual feedback. Teaching Knowledge Test. The Teaching Knowledge Test (TKT) is a professional credential offered by Cambridge English that assesses a teacher's knowledge about the core principles and practices of English language teaching. It is designed for current and aspiring teachers who want to demonstrate their understanding of teaching methodologies, lesson planning, classroom management, and language assessment. The TKT is modular, allowing candidates to focus on specific areas such as language and background to language learning and teaching, lesson planning and use of resources, managing the teaching and learning process, and specialist areas like content and language integrated learning (CLIL). It is internationally recognized and supports professional development by validating teaching knowledge, regardless of prior teaching experience or qualifications. Here are the top 5 beneficial uses of Teaching Knowledge Exam. 1. Professional development. TKT helps teachers enhance their understanding of core teaching concepts, methodologies, and classroom practices, making it a valuable tool for continuous professional growth. 2. International recognition. As a globally recognized qualification from Cambridge English, TKT adds credibility to a teacher's profile and opens doors to teaching opportunities worldwide. 3. Foundation for further certifications. TKT serves as a stepping stone for higher-level qualifications such as CELTA, Delta, or other advanced language teaching diplomas, making it ideal for career progression. 4. Standardized benchmarking. TKT provides a consistent measure of teaching knowledge, allowing institutions to assess and compare teaching competencies across candidates. 5. Accessible entry point. With no prior teaching experience or advanced English level required, TKT offers an accessible entry into the teaching profession for aspiring educators.